Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I kind of figured I wanted to do a kind of like a first episode of all the journal and journaling. So I've been contemplating on what to bring and what to share with you guys. And one of the things that really helped me over the past years that I've been struggling with negative self-talk is that I've found out that a lot of time I don't have anyone to talk to, and I was really, it's not the fact that I don't have anyone to talk to. It was more of a, if I say something they're not going to understand, they will look at me like, Michelle, you're weird, or Michelle, there's something wrong with you. So it was already something that I was struggling with in terms of people judging me, and I felt that people were judging me, so I didn't really feel comfortable in sharing a lot of my thoughts and my ideas and things that I don't necessarily want to share with people. So over the course of years, I've picked up the habit of journaling. And I would say that I am a seasonal journaling because journaler, what would be the word for someone who journal? Journaler? Is there such a word? Anyway, so you get the point. I started to pick up the habit and I started to journaling, and it had brought me a tremendous amount of calm and peace. I find that, a lot of thoughts that I may not necessarily share with people or even family, I am able to write them down in my journal, and, I can put them away, put them somewhere that no one is going to find out, no one is going to notice. So I have a habit if I'm running into some darkness that I just need someone to listen to me, I go to my journal. So today I want to share a couple of different reviews in terms of the journal that I've been using, and maybe you also use the same brand. And I know there's a lot of bullet journal out there, and they are really high tech and fancy. I'm going to try my best to, do the flip through and review with you. But again, this is not something that I do professionally. I'm not a professional bullet journal. So I can only share what I know and what have worked for me. And you're welcome to put in the comments, what have worked for you in the past, and what system are you currently using. I would love to connect with you in terms of, I'm a big stationery person. So every time I go to the stationery store, I get really lost in the stationery store. So if there's any particular brand that you like or that you would recommend, feel free to put it in the comment and share with me. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And also there's a bell next to the subscribe button. So make sure you hit that as well so that you don't miss any of my videos that's coming up. And I am taking this channel really seriously. I'm putting a lot of energy into it. And I want you to know that all these content is going to be upscaling pretty soon. And hopefully this is something that you enjoy and that you will want to watch and learn more. So let's get into it. So my first journal is really, it doesn't have any brand. It's basically, I went to a bookstore, I pick up a notebook, and I really love the cover. I really love the feel for it. And I basically just started journaling. And I remember this is back when I was already finished college, and I was already finished graduate school. And I decided that, well, I'm going to take it to the next level and I'm going to start writing. So I actually started a blog back in 2006, 2005. And ever since then, I've been just blogging. And every time I blog, so English is my second language. So my first language is actually Chinese. I speak fluently in Mandarin. So when I first started journaling, I journal everything in Chinese. So a lot of these journal I'm going to show you, they're actually in a different language because I think better in first language, which is Chinese. So I went to a bookstore and I picked up these just really regular notebook. It wasn't any fancy, anything special. It's just lined notebook. And as you can see, over the year, you know, I have a lot of stuff in there. And here's something about me, and I'm sure a lot of people who bullet journal or stationary enthusiastic, you can relate to the feeling, because you start writing and suddenly that feeling just kind of drop, and then you're like, I'm not really feeling that journal anymore. So this is what happened with this journal. So this is in 2006 to 2007. And I have a tendency, I decided, you know, I have to organize things. So I actually dated them on the side, on the backbone of that journal. So I give them a date. So this particular one, there's actually a lot of blank pages at towards the end. Because one thing that I have discovered when you're doing journaling or bullet journal, it's really important to find paper that doesn't fall apart. And so this paper, this notebook is not very, it doesn't, the way that it was made, it's not, you know, the best quality. So it's by glue. So as I was writing it, pages start to fall off. And that was no for me. And so when pages start falling off, I'm like, oh, I'm done with that. So that was that. And then I discovered moleskins, or yeah, moleskin. Most I pronounce it as moleskin. Again, English is not my first language, and if you know how to pronounce it correctly, put that in the comment. Let me know how to pronounce it correctly. I'm all about learning. So I found moleskin, so I went to moleskin. Moleskin is great. I love it, and they every year they put out these daily planners. So every day you get a page. Every day you get a page, and basically it's just horizontal ruled notebook with dates on them. And there's a monthly calendar in the beginning, so you have all year of worth of calendar in the front. You have, you know, your future. So this is where the future log, for those of you who's bullet journaling, this is where your future log, you have the month spread, and you can note major holidays, your friend's birthday, what family's birthday, important days that you need to remember. So your future log is all here. And then you flip through the page, there's useful universal calendar and holiday events that they provide you with. And then you go into these beautiful ruled notebook. So for a while, I was using this style. I was using moleskin to basically keep track of my day and also write my thoughts. And I was, obviously you can see that I spent a lot of time working on it, and it was a good year. So the way that I determine whether or not, when I'm journaling, and if it's a good year, is by how thick my journal is by the end of the year. So this is a good year because I was actually keeping up with everything, and I didn't waste any of the pages. Well, actually I did, because I taped them together for that couple of weeks that I was on vacation. And when I'm on vacation, my mind is on vacation too. So there's not a whole lot of thinking there. You know, I just go and then enjoy my day. So during my vacation time, typically I don't have a lot of thoughts. It is those days where I am either at work, at school, or doing something that triggers me emotionally. That is typically the day that I sit down and I have a lot to share. So I got really creative in putting, you know, decorating. And again, these are all in Chinese because I was used to journal in Chinese. So, and they have pictures and they have great memories, and this is my good year. So I loved it. It's moleskin. Yeah, so moleskin, I really love it. Even now, I still use moleskin. So I actually went back to moleskin. So this is something that I've been doing recently. This is my purpose journal. So ever since that I started my own coaching business, I wanted to making myself continuously improving myself. And one of the way that I notice that I can continuously improving myself is by keeping a purpose journal. So the way that my purpose journal work is that every morning when I wake up, I would meditate, I would go through my routines, and then I would come back to my journal and I would write maybe a sentence or two of what my purpose is for that day. So every day I have different purpose and I keep it short. So it's very short, and basically you can even do like a week, two sheets. So very short. Write down my intention. So the word that I love to use now is intention. It kind of set your tone for your day. So my intention is written in here. So I actually went back to Moleskine. It's this is a soft cover. So they do have different covers. So there's soft cover and there's hard cover. The way I love journal is that it's soft cover, so that I can bend it, I can smash it if I'm angry, or I can tuck it into my purse and go. So this is why I use the soft cover, but they do come in hardcover. Hardcover, I don't have a hardcover. So this is similar to Moleskine, but this is by a nonprofit organization that I work for, and they have promotionary items. So, and all the profit that they make is going to benefit a nonprofit organization. So I bought a notebook from them because it's very similar to Moleskine, and it actually has a pen loop that you can actually put pencil, because most of my pen are really thick, bigger, so it fits a pencil perfectly. And this is my meeting book. So a lot of my important meetings, I would keep it in this notebook. Things I need to remember during the meeting or after the meeting, I write it in the meeting book. So this is similar to Moleskine. I just started to use this system later. So after the Moleskine, a couple of years later, I discovered something really amazing. Great, right? What I discovered is this Japanese system. It's called Hobonichi. Hobonichi, Nichi is Japanese word, means diary. So I actually took a year of Japanese because I wanted to go to Japan and I wanted to be able to converse with people in Japan. So I decided, I'm going to go and take a year of Japanese. And this is something about me, and maybe a trivia that you will be interested to know. Anytime that I set my mind in doing something, and if I don't know how, I'm going to invest myself in knowing how. So I didn't know how to speak Japanese, but the idea came because I wanted to go to Japan. And I know where I want to go. What do I need? I need to be able to have the ability to speak the language. So I decided, I'm going to go take a Japanese class. So I started by going to a local language school, and they were teaching Japanese. So I was learning the basic alphabet and how to speak Japanese. So going back, Nichi means diary. And Hobonichi is really, really popular in Japan because they've been making diary for a long time. So I started, this is actually the pocket size. They have a A5 size, which is I believe it's 8 by 5. So they have a bigger size. The smaller size is easy because you can tuck it into your purse and you can carry it everywhere you go. Now this one is blank because after I bought it, same thing with my previous, the one I showed you earlier, where the rest of them are blank because my passion just kind of drifted away. And I'll tell you which one I went to in a minute. But I started in 2012, and this is my first Hobonichi. And same thing with the Moleskine. I use it to write journal, and you can actually, here is actually the pattern that I found as my tattoo. So I got this tattoo back in 2012. And supposedly 2012. Oh my gosh, I actually got it in 2012. So I went to Vegas, and then one day I was passing by a henna store. So I walked in and I saw this pattern. I fell in love with it. It was butterfly. It's a butterfly, and there's a, it almost looks like a tiny, it looks like a human inside, and it's got wings. And I knew that I wanted a tribal armband, so I asked for the design to have a armband, and I actually wrote about it in my journal, in my Hobonichi. And again, I was really creative. I started to use stamps, and yes, yes, you saw it. And that was the year I discovered Traveler's Notebook. So abandoned the Hobonichi, and I started to use Traveler's Notebook. What's great about Traveler's Notebook is that it's a system, and there, if you Googled it, if you do YouTube, there's so many channels, there's so many information out there that talk about the system. So basically, it covered. All right, it's got elastic band in here, and what you do with Traveler's Notebook is each Traveler's Notebook comes in inserts like these, and you use whichever insert that suits you, that you find useful, and that can customize to your need, to what you do. That's the system that you will go to. But once you found your insert, what you do is you insert these inserts into the elastic band that's already in there, and ta-da, you just made your own journal system. Now, what's really cool about the Traveler's Notebook is that it's very travel size, convenient. You can tuck it into your purse and you're ready to go. And there's not a whole lot of like the pretty stuff that you see in regular notebook. There's no lines. If you choose a system that doesn't have any, just like blank pages, you can do that. You can customize it. You can draw pictures in there. So there's many different ways that you can use these inserts. So I found and I fell in love with Traveler's Notebook because at that time I started to have this passion for traveling. I was already, having a full-time job. I was having a steady income as a clinical pharmacist. And so I started to fell in love with traveling, and which is why I wanted the Traveler's Notebook, so that I can travel with it. It's very portable, and so you can put your pen and basically secure it on the side, and there you go. You're ready to write, and you're ready to take it out. You're ready to work. That's why I love the Traveler's Notebook. Then I fell out of love for Traveler's Notebook for some time, and then I went to so I, in between that, I found another system that I really love. So this is before I found Hobonichi, which is this is made by a Taiwanese company, and the owner of the notebook store, they are two amazing women. They started their own business in journaling, and they made these size just like the Hobonichi pocket size. So it's very comparable. And I loved it because it has all these layouts similar to Hobonichi, but only half of the price. So the thing about Hobonichi and a lot of these Japanese products is that they are really expensive. Like just the system itself, it probably costs you $30-$40 versus these generic one, it only costs you like $10, $20. So if you're looking for a low budget but still stylish way to write or to journal, I would highly recommend to look into not the big brand products, but looking into some of the the DIY, or check out Etsy. There's a lot of people who make similar products, but they just don't have that big brand. So before Hobonichi, I fell in love with this one. And when I said fell in love, I really fell in love because I wrote in every pages, and every pages has something, that was meaningful to me. And I also discovered these Polaroids that can take and snap pictures, and you can tape it directly into the notebook. I was having a good time. And I also have, I got into a habit of collecting all my ticket stub, my concert stub, or when I go to a museum, I would also collect these. They're just amazing. So after Traveler's Notebook, I fell out of love. I discovered these. So this is Filofax. Filofax. Oh, it is probably, I've used this system probably for a really long time because I love them because they're 6-ring system. So basically you punch holes and it's very customizable. And it reminds me of, going back to school as a student, you have your notebook and then you need to have hole punchers, and you can have different tab, and each tab have different section. Different section, you have different purpose. So I was using the Filofax for a long time. Now these are the cheaper one, right? So it's, those of you who use this system, the Filofax system, this is probably the least expensive style, the least expensive cover that's out there. They come in leather, they come in these closed system where you can zipper it up and you can do a lot more to it. I wanted something that's very similar to the Traveler's Notebook, yet I have the option of using the ring system. So I went to the cheaper route, and I'm really not into spending a whole lot of money on the cover, because I use my journals so much, so they get really dirty and they get really torn up, and I really abuse my journal. So the cheaper, make it work, it's great. So that's Filofax. And then, like I said, so the Hobonichi also come in a bigger size. So the bigger size, it's an A5 size, and it's obviously, you can write a lot more, and the space is enough. And I actually do doodles in here, so I do a lot of sketch work myself, and just to make it really pretty. And this was during the time when I started to learn Japanese. So it was perfect to have using a Japanese system, using a Japanese, writing in Japanese. And the other thing about Hobonichi is this smaller version, the mini version, the pocket size, actually have quotes on the bottom. So a lot of them has quotes on the bottom. And I remember when I was learning Japanese, these quotes have become very useful because I can actually go there and look at, and what's the quote of the day, so I can learn and I can read. So that was good. That was cool. So what system do I use now? So this is something that I just discovered a couple of weeks ago. I was browsing on YouTube, and I came across, actually I have the system already. So this is just a cover by Webster's Page. So Webster's Page have been around since 1986, and they basically make the same style of cover as the Traveler's Notebook, except what's really cool about it is the size is a little bigger than the regular Traveler's Notebook. It's slightly bigger, but which is fine. What's really cool about it is that it has 4 elastic strings inside, so I can combine them and use all 4, and I can have a lot of different inserts compared to the regular Traveler's Notebook, which only has 2, and it's very limited. So some people actually customize it and they change the whole system to make it 4, but I'm not that creative, and that just takes too much of my time. So I just want something simple. which is why I bought the Webster's page. They already have 4 elastic in here, which is perfect for me. What's really cool about this is it actually fit Moleskine system in here. So I have 2 inserts from the Traveler's notebook itself, and then I have a Moleskine notebook in here, yeah, as the insert. So what I use for the Moleskine is my bullet journal. So all my thoughts, idea, my weekly spreads are all in the Moleskine journal. And once I'm done with this particular notebook for my bullet journal, when I'm done, I can take it out, I can swap it out, I can use another notebook, using it for another bullet journal system, which is great. It works really well right now for me. So as of now, I'm doing a lot more research and I'm doing a lot more public speaking. So a lot of time, these stories, ideas that come into my head, I wanted to be able to have some kind of system that would really help me to jot down my ideas and be there quickly, and that I don't have to spend too much of time to dress it up, make it pretty, which is not like the one I did before. I actually had to sit down and doing all these cutting and pasting. Honestly, right now I don't have time for that. A lot of time, my time has to do with, talking to the clients and doing public speaking. So I don't have time for that, which is perfect for the Traveler's notebook. It's very simple. I love it. I can change and swap out the insert once they're done. So yes, so far that is all the review on the notebook that I've been using. Again, if you are bullet journal and you have your system and you would like to share what the system that you are using right now, go ahead and put that in the comment. I would love to connect with you. So this is something I am going to start doing more, because I think what really helps our negative self-talking and to eliminate some of the negativity that's in our lives is really being mindful. And one of the things that I always share with my clients is, how do you be mindful, when your mind just can't stop working? Well, I truly believe that journaling is something that had really helped and it influenced me in a very positive ways. It helped me to really get the idea out of my head and put it on a piece of paper. And that had really helped me going back to review, what was I really telling myself? Why do I have these thoughts, and what are the purpose behind those thoughts? Are they meaningful? Are they positive? And you'll be surprised, sometimes those negativity are actually signs for a bigger things that's going on in our life. And when you go back to read your journal, there's a couple of things that you get out of reading your journal. You get that joy, because then you're looking at it and thinking, wow, look at how far I've come. Or you would start wondering, I wonder why I have those thoughts, and I wonder where that idea came from. You start doing a lot of self-reflection, which is why I truly believe that journaling is a really powerful way of helping ourselves to become more aware, also to become more mindful. And if you go to my website at elevatelifecoaching.org, I actually created a worksheet. It's a judgment worksheet. Basically, the idea is that you can actually print it out at home and you can put it into your journal. And every now and then, when you ever catch yourself judging yourself or judging someone else or judging a circumstances or situation, I want you to get into a habit of using that worksheet and really identify, what is it that you are telling yourself? What is it that you are saying about the situation? What type of judgment are you carrying to the situation? And how does that judgment make you feel? So by doing all these work, you actually start to build on that muscle of awareness, and you begin to have more idea of the way that you think, and you'll be able to catch more pattern and how it's affecting your current behavior. So if you're interested, go download that worksheet on my website at elevatelifecoaching.org. It's completely free. And what also comes with it is actually a 15 minutes meditation clips, 15 minutes meditation audio that I've actually, it's a guided meditation that I did. And it's on the recording, so you can replay, and hopefully it'll help you to start slowing down our busy monkey mind. So if you find that useful, let me know. I always encourage everyone to have a conversation with me. Let me know what you think about the worksheet. What do you think about the guided meditation? Is it helpful? Is it a waste of your time? Positive, negative, I wanted to hear from you. So I've been talking. Wow. So if you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to my channel. This is actually the beginning of my whole journaling YouTube section that you are going to find that I will be starting to sharing. So yeah, that's it. And happy journaling. We'll see you soon.